guys, so today's mission is we're actually going to take down our short stumpy mast. We're going to be fully demasted. The previous owner did put up this short mast thinking that he could fly a spinnaker off of it, but it really wasn't rigged that strongly, so we never really trusted it to fly anything on it. And now it kind of blocks our solar panels and it's not really useful. Plus there is quite a few spots that we need to repair around it, so it's time for it to come down. We're going to be demasted. Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my fiance Davy. We are living aboard our new to us hurricane-damaged catamaran, Barefoot 2.0. We met in Fiji 3 years ago and have experienced so many beautiful places together. For the past 2 years, we've made the ocean our home, starting on our Catalina 36 in the States and the Northern Caribbean. We hope to one day circumnavigate the globe, but for now we are fixing our boat one step at a time. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. When faced with a challenge, look for a way, not a way out.
Do you want to stay with Alf?
Huh?
Do you want to stay with Alf with the mast and I'll go around and pop all these three loose?
I reckon you should have someone still hold that one. Hold that one.
Yeah.
Get Scott here because he's strong
Yeah.
with this one. And then me and you go up there and help it go backwards.
We're not going backwards.
Well,
we're
we're
going to
going
try and
forwards.
go forwards. I need to stay away from the solar panels.
Okay, understand.
So we'll still basically pop one and hold on to it.
Yeah.
Pop the next one, hold on to it, and go back with them.
You and Davey
And then
control this one.
let it,
So I'll let this one out first.
pull that one right off. That one won't go anywhere.
Put the strong one on the...
Kelly, just don't tip over the solar.
Just spun. Watch that.
Someone rigged that well.
Watch the other two, because that one over there I spun out. The one you got. Once it gets unpinned, it'll probably spin again. I'm just kind of. Kelly, you can probably pop that pin out of the bottom.
I don't want myself
I just figured if there was enough slack.
So we're going to stop just for a second. You can see where our cabin top is damaged. It almost looks like someone used paper mache to cover the hole. This is in fact a mold. So the previous owner, he was able to take a mold of another Mahi 36 when the boat was in Puerto Rico. So this is why we didn't want to take a mold of the boat that we found down in Barahona. A lot of people suggested why not do that. We do in fact have a mold there, and this was one of the reasons we did buy this boat, because it will make fabricating that piece a lot easier. However, cutting and pasting a piece of fiberglass would have been easier from that boat, but we'll take what we can get, right?
It would just pop.
Okay.
Yeah, hold that one.
Yeah, I've got it.
Now I'd say both of you get on top of the hard top up there with those hard lines. And we'll go forward, one at each corner.
Oh.
I feel safer up here than down there anyway.
Alright. Ready to go forward? Ready to pull up? Coming?
Just don't drop it on me.
I've got the weight on this line. At the end of the day, you're not going to do much more damage than you've already done.
We're on Kelly's side.
Yeah, I'm assisting with the wind angle by changing my angle.
Just walk forward. Just walk forward. Just walk forward. You're fine.
Is it heavy?
It's getting heavy. Not very heavy.
Alright, we can try and layer it. Alright, just put it down, put it down, put it down.
Woohoo! Okay, that was...
Perfect.
Popped out with it and then.
Go back.
I'm just saying you didn't go through the road.
I'm glad you didn't go through the trampoline.
Thing on this boat.
That's alright, by the time I would have stopped it, it just held on to the mast. It was swimming off the ground. Alright, let's see.
What you doing?
Strip a few of these bits, useful bits, off of this mast. We have no use for this dodgy old piece of aluminium. So this can go and make some new beer cans or something. Support the local community. Get recycled. But a few of these parts, like the stay locks and maybe these little plates, I'm sure we can make use for something. So I'm going to get a few of the bits off that we can use. Our radar reflector, for example, that can come back on the boat. But yeah, now we're going to strip off the good stuff. The rest can go to scrap. Okay, so the reason, I don't think you're pointing at my head. You're pointing at my head?
There's bugs.
Yeah, and the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
You're getting all the mosquitoes. Hi mosquitoes, they're making a cameo appearance. So the reason we took the mast off is basically the angle that we're at here in the yard. Well, for one, it's absolutely useless anyway.
It wasn't strong enough really to fly anything on.
It wasn't rigged properly. We can't fly anything from it. It's just an added piece of weight. And the worst thing about it is it's actually blocking all of the sun from the solar panels. So that's the main reason we've got it off, so it's not blocking, and also I can get to all the areas. And where the actual mast connects to the boat, there is some cracking in the gel coat, so I want to grind that back, check everything's nice and strong, re-glass it, and rebuild it basically, ready for a new mast. So this had to come off anyway, and since it's just destroying our solar energy, now is the time to do it. So we've got a couple of friends over to do it today, and here she is. Kind of a pathetic little thing, yeah. Not too bad, not very heavy.
Pathetic little stumpy mast. So now we're officially demasted.
Yeah. So the mast is gone. And the solar panels, check this out. No shading. That's fantastic. I don't know why people buy sailboats, it blocks the solar panels. So now our battery banks actually are charged up by what? It was overcast this morning and they were charged up by before midday. So
by like 11 o'clock, I think they were fully charged, which is fantastic. I reckon even now if we put the freezer on, we could probably maybe fill
up. We might
up.
get away with the freezer as well, yeah.
Because before, when we had the mast and all the shading, we could never keep the fridge and the freezer on.
We'd have to run the engines or plug into shore power or start the generator or something to be able to use that.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of being completely self-sufficient. So.
Yeah. But we'll see. But these anyway, these three here aren't the final solar panels that we're going to have on the boat. We do want to get a couple of bigger ones that are going to be going on top of the hardtop once that's finished. That's something I've got back to this morning. Haven't actually filmed it yet, but we'll show you that next week a little bit more about the hardtop again.
We just want to do a big shout out. Thank you to Alf, Kelly and Scott for coming and helping us take down the mast. We couldn't have done it without you guys, especially Scott.
It nearly went through the trampoline, but yeah, thank you so much for that help.
And we've been getting a lot of feedback from our midweek episode that we put out about going down to Barahona with the other Mach E36. I know it is a bit of a shame that we couldn't get those parts, but you never know.
Who knows what happens? We might. The parts are going to sit there for a long time. We may, come Christmas or something, maybe we can send them a message. Maybe we could just get the perspex.
Yeah.
I'll do the fiberglass, just build it from scratch. Maybe we could still get the perspex. So fingers crossed on that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that if we hear anything from him. But so far nothing. So his loss.
His loss.
We still had fun.
Our loss. But we had a great weekend. Yeah. So that was great.
Also want to do a big shout out to all of our patrons and
subscribers, people that push the donate button, everyone that's been helping us out. There's a couple of packages en route as well that we don't know what's in them, but somebody sent us something.
So thank you very much,
It's going to be like Christmas to open them up. So
we're
thank you so
very excited.
much.
We love Christmas.
All right, morning guys. So this morning I wanted a little bit of a break from sanding the hulls. As you can see, they're coming up really nice and clean. But anyway, they're drying. All the damaged areas, they are exposed. So they're starting to dry out. But I wanted to go on to something a little bit different, take me away from the sanding just for a couple of days. So what we're going to look at this morning is we're going to look at the rudders. As you know, I've dropped both the rudders. I'm still, before we actually look at those on the table, I still have the issues with the bearings here. I've been lubricating these every day. Lots of spray in there, power lube and WD-40 and everything else I can find that I've got. But they are not opening up just yet, so I'm going to give that another go later on this afternoon. But for now, I've got the 2 rudders on the table. So this is the one that we dropped in Puerto Rico. She's still looking pretty good. There was some small cracking and stuff that I did repairs in Puerto Rico when we had her out. We used the scuba gear to get her out. We didn't take the boat out of the water. There wasn't any opportunities to take the boat out in the water in Puerto Rico. This is the starboard side that we've never had out, but it was also the side that the previous owner had told us that he'd changed the bearings, which we obviously know that's not true. A few things I'm noticing with them. If you're noticing here, the rusting and pitting start on both of these. Now, I've noticed from the Facebook sites for Fontaines that a lot of people have had issues with this, and that's because the rudder stocks aren't grounded. So that's something, when we reinstall these, we're definitely going to look at grounding the rudder stocks to make sure there's no electrolysis or anything, because I really don't like that. This was only put back in when we left Puerto Rico, and it's already rusting and pitting at this point here. So we're definitely going to need to look and address that. Also noticing on the starboard one, the one we've never had out before, there's definitely a small hairline crack here, and along here in the bottom it's definitely taken a small impact, and there's some cracking. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to sand these up, clean them up so these can dry as well, and then what we can do is start doing a fiberglass repair on them. I think I'll completely re-glass both of them. We'll strengthen around the sides, we'll re-glass the whole things, we'll get a barrier coat on them and anti-foul paint on them, so they'll be like new, if not stronger than new by the time I finish with them. So stay tuned for more sanding. Okay, so done the grinding on the first one, removed all the gel coat, all the anti-foul, looking for any suspicious spots. You'll notice here, along this edge, definitely some damage, black lines, look like water intrusion in there. These areas, I'm kind of suspicious because of the color difference, but as far as how solid it goes and how it sounds, actually feels good. But I'm not going to take a risk. I am going to grind back these areas to see what we find under here, do a repair, and then I think what we'll do is we'll add glass all the way around, glass on the top, another layer all the way around, glass on the top. So it's going to have 2 solid layers before then that we get it ready for a barrier coat. So glad I've done this, done it to both sides. Whoop, there we go. Both sides have the same suspicious markings up there. Even looks like, yeah, it looks like there possibly is some water coming out of this joint here. But they'll get a couple of days to dry without the gel coat on them before we come back to this as a project. But now I've got the dusty job of starting the next one.